All right. Speaking of big guys that have a decision to make, Zach Edey, Purdue's star center, the reigning national college basketball player of the year, has declared for the NBA draft. Is he gone? Is he coming back? Where do you stand on Zach Edey, and what do you think his prospects are at the next level? I've said already, Jeff, I think that he's a guy, best case scenario in the NBA, you're looking at like a Boban kind of a figure that is going to work in certain matchups and in certain lineups, and has a role in the NBA, but that's about what you can expect at the next level.
You know what's bananas? Like, I'm just thinking back and like 8 years ago, I'm covering the NBA draft, and Jahlil Okafor slipped. Remember, people thought he might go number 1 overall, and he slipped to number 3. And I just remember looking at his face when he slipped to 3, because it was the Sixers at that point, and the Sixers were a complete disaster. You know, it was all about tanking and all that with Sam Hinkie. So it just shows you how much it's changed, because not that they're the same player, Edey and Okafor, but they're both guys who couldn't guard. They don't guard especially well. They're more plotting bigs. They're traditional bigs. And you just look at how much the game has changed over the last 8 years. Zach Edey, if he had come out in 2015, we'd be talking about him as a lottery pick. And now we're saying he probably won't be drafted at all. So I think ultimately, I said it before, I don't have intimate knowledge on this. I think Zach Edey's going to go through the process. He's going to see, again, keep an open mind on all of it. But I think at the end of the day,
let me tell you guys about our sponsor for today's episode, Athletic Greens. I started taking AG1 a few weeks back. When we get in the middle of college hoop season, it can be hard for me to eat and drink as healthy as I probably should be, especially in late February and March when the schedule gets really busy. But I found that I've felt better as I've made AG1 a part of my daily routine. I take AG1 in the afternoons after the coffee is worn off and once the itis post-lunch is kind of set in. And what I found, my energy levels are up. It's improved my digestion. And as a result, I'm not only more efficient and productive in the most important time of the year for me and for the field of 68, but I'm working out more consistently. I just feel better. AG1 is so much more than just a greens powder. It's comprehensive health and the power of habit in one. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally could not be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of the AG1 formula with water, and I drink it every single afternoon. Done. Just like that. I also like that it only costs $3 a day. The price is right. If a comprehensive solution is what you need for your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is the answer. They are giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Free! Just go to athleticgreens.com/field68. That's athleticgreens.com/field68. The link is in the description below. Check it out. Support the field of 68 and feel better about yourself.
It's going to be Sanogo-ish in a way, although his situation is different because he'll go back to Purdue, where I don't think Adama's got the opportunity right now really to go back to UConn. I just think ultimately it comes down to NIL, and even though he's from Canada, all you have to do is be creative to get these kids that are international students paid. You basically just have to leave the country and have him sign autographs or do do some other stuff outside of the U.S. border. So you can do that with Edey. There's somebody right now trying to look at playing a game in Canada involving Purdue right now. A top college, like Purdue against a big time team in Canada. So all that money could go to Zach Edey, pretty much. You can just filter it to Zach Edey. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for him to make. I don't know what the number will be. Can he make $1 million? I think Zach Edey is smart enough to understand that, you know what, he loves Purdue. He's gotten a lot better over the course of his career every year. So he can still get better. It's not like he's tapped out what he can do. He can get better. Look at the difference it's made from his sophomore to his junior year. And he understands that better than anybody. I think he goes back to Purdue. I just think when the smoke clears, he's looking at maybe being drafted, probably not. And I think ultimately the best avenue for him is to make more money going back to Purdue for one more year and being a star. You and I saw it. The kid was signing autographs for like an hour after the game. People love him, and this is not a kid who had his ass kissed his whole life.
And I think that he feels a level of loyalty towards Purdue as well.
Sure.
Right? Like he said it to us. He said it in other interviews. Like Matt Painter gave him a chance that not very many people would have given him. Right? Matt Painter forced his teammates to like keep giving him the ball when he was, I think what was his quote to you? I sucked.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Didn't know what he said. I sucked.
Yep. Dropping the ball left and right.
Yeah, I think he's very thankful and appreciative and loyal to Matt Painter for the opportunity that he has gotten. And I think I haven't talked to him about this, but my guess is that there's a level of guilt involved. Maybe guilt's the wrong word, but they got knocked out in the first round. Matt Painter is the one taking the heat for that right now. And I don't think Zach Edey is going to like Matt Painter being the one to take the heat. So if you are a guy that won a National Player of the Year award at Purdue, if you are a guy that can come back and be a back-to-back National Player of the Year award winner, if you are a guy that can finally get Matt Painter over the hump and get them into the Final Four, let's say that they add a couple more talented backcourt pieces in the portal, right? All of a sudden you're looking at a situation where like you're not just a great story for 1 year. Like you can be a legitimate Purdue legend. They could sit there and say Zach Edey, Glenn Robinson, Robbie Hummel, like in that order. You know what I mean? Like he has a chance to make himself
he's already
all-time great college basketball.
He's already way ahead of Hummel here. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Right now, a Big Dog is probably ahead of
Robbie Hummel. Let's not be disparaging to Zach Edey here.
True. Robbie Hummel is on the pickleball Hall of Fame at
He's
Purdue.
On the tour. He's probably legitimately every day. His day consists right now pickleball for an hour, and then he hits the golf course. That's it.
Tough life that man lives.
Great life.
Yeah. Imagine if you didn't have to work like that. That's basically what your life was when you went to Charleston, but I digress. Anyway, I think that I do think that there is a lot of not just the financial incentive, but a basketball motivation for Zach Edey to come back. And when you can make it so it's not a financial decision, that's the beauty of the NIL right now. You make it so it's not a financial decision. We're going to get into that a little bit with Mark Mitchell and Kyle Filipowski's decision, Tyrese Proctor's decision to come back.